guys, I know it's been a while since I have posted anything. I've had some things going on, nothing too horrible, but the last couple months, there's been some things going on at work. Still love my job, still absolutely adore who I work with and what I do, but some things higher up that just were causing all kinds of, changes and different things. So I've been kind of dealing with that and staying off TikTok, but I'm feeling better about what's going on. And so I thought I'd come on here and say hi because it's been a while. And I also wanted to talk a little bit about what it's like to be in a single mom situation and someone and in a situation where I was married to someone who is very narcissistic, and how that has, being not having that person in my life anymore, how that has changed my relationship with my daughter. So, as I've shared with you, my daughter, she's a wonderful little girl, and love her to death. Her dad does not live in the state we are in. He moved to another state. So visitation happens about maybe once a month. There'll be an overnight or 2-night visit for a weekend. And then, sometimes he comes over for a day visit too on a weekend, but, they haven't always been consistent. A lot of times it's last minute changes. So, I am pretty much the caregiver most of the time. I would say at least 90% of the time for my daughter. And I love it and everything. But when he left and we were finally fully divorced and no longer together, there needed to be some changes. Like, my daughter and I, we wanted to start a new life. So I really had to sit down and think, like, how can we start now making our own traditions, especially even around the holidays this year too. So, I have really tried to instill things into our daily schedule, weekly schedule, and also monthly, that are things that we just do now that perhaps we weren't doing or weren't doing consistently before. And I feel like it has helped make our bond stronger. So one of the things is we definitely, once a week, we go out together, out to eat, and we usually bring some sort of card game to play together. Usually it's Uno, so that has been fun. So we go to just different restaurants around where we live, and we have dinner together, we chat, find out how how things are going at school, and then we usually play cards. And what's fun about that is because a lot of times that's when a lot of our conversations will take place, and they're more natural, not as forced. And she'll just bring up things that I wouldn't have even thought to ask her. So that's been a nice, fun tradition that we have started since last year. Another thing is our Friday nights are mommy movie nights. So her and I will take turns selecting a movie, and then we watch it together on Friday night. Sometimes we also do facial treatments or something, like masks or whatever, and do that and watch a movie together. But typically when we don't have anything planned on Friday nights, which is most Friday nights, thankfully, we have started that tradition. Another thing we have done is I've tried to focus on some more trips with her. With my work situation, some of the long distance or more expensive trips have been put on hold for right now until I kind of have a better idea of what's going on at work. But, just other little things that we can do together. And I've also been trying to allow her to make choices in those, like, we could do these things. What do you think you want to do the most? What sounds the most fun, or that sort of thing. We've also been hanging out a lot more with friends, neighbors, people that are part of our support circle. And that's been really great too, as well. So I just wanted to share that even though something like this has happened, your family is no longer what it looked like maybe before, You were married to someone who was narcissistic. They're no longer in your life. That's a great thing. But it doesn't also mean that it's something that you have to dwell on, that it has to change the dynamic in your life in a negative way. Um, I like to be able to show my daughter in these situations that, yeah, our family dynamic has changed, but I'm not going to sit down and just be sad all the time and crying all the time or whatever. I want her to see me as a strong woman and as a role model, that I've been able to continue to live my life quite happily, and in many instances, a lot more happier. And we can still do things together. And like I said, I feel like me being more intentional on making sure that we're doing things together on a weekly basis and that sort of thing has brought us closer together. I feel like, really, especially with her moving into, fourth and then eventually fifth grade next year, this is the time where it's kind of that make and break, where kids are starting to be a lot more hormonal and change and that sort of thing. And sometimes kids will shut down and not talk to their parents. And I'm really trying to put a bond in place that, I'm still the mom. We still have rules we need to follow, but also let's talk. Let's find out what's going on. I want her to know that I'm interested in her life, and that we get to decide what we're going to do together to, live a very positive and fulfilling life. So I'm hoping to show that to her as a role model, and that, sad things happen and changes happen, but you pick yourself up and you keep going. So I also want to say that I know this is Thursday, so a thankful Thursday as well is that I'm very thankful to have my daughter in my life. She is the best thing that came out of my relationship with my ex, and I love her to pieces. And my life really is better, and I'm a better person because she's in my life. So I love her so, so much. So you guys have a great day, and I'll try to post more often and keep you updated with what's going on. All right, have a great night. Bye.